Hello there, my name is Albert Romero, and this is my producer podcast for advanced session recording. This podcast will be on pop producer Lukas Gottwald, aka Dr. Luke. Dr. Luke actually started off his career as a musician. He started playing guitar at the age of 13 when his parents didn't want to get him a drum set, so he resorted to playing his sister's guitar, and he would spend just hours and hours just listening to rock and roll and figuring out the guitar parts. When he grew up, he went to the Manhattan School of Music, where one of his guitar professors actually told him of the Saturday Night Live auditions. Soon enough, Dr. Luke auditioned for lead guitar on the show, and he beat out 80 other applicants. So that's kind of where he got his start in the industry, and that's how he got his big break. While working for Saturday Night Live, he would produce his own dance tracks and remix hip-hop during his free time. And in 2004, he was actually working as a DJ in New York City nightclubs, and he met Max Martin. Max Martin is a pop producer who has produced for countless names and countless hits, including Britney Spears, the Backstreet Boys, Celine Dion, NSYNC, and the list goes on. And soon after he met Max, they became friends before they actually started collaborating. In 2004, Max Martin and Dr. Luke actually collaborated on one of their first tracks, and it was a track called Since You've Been Gone, which was performed by Kelly Clarkson. And this was their first hit together. After working on Saturday Night Live for 10 years, Dr. Luke decided to quit, and he decided to focus on producing. So he started producing all these great tracks for all these great artists, including Britney Spears and Katy Perry and Kesha. One of his number one records was the Teenage Dream record by Katy Perry. The record went number one, and it was a commercial success, and it was a critical success. 5 of the singles that were actually released off the album, which were California Girls, Firework, Teenage Dream, E.T., and Last Friday Night, all went to the number one spot on the Billboard Hot 100, which, 4 out of those 5, not including Firework, Dr. Luke actually produced and or co-wrote with producers Max Martin and Benny Blanco. So that kind of goes to show that he's not just capable of producing a number one album, but also multiple number ones hit off that number one album. After every one of his hit records, he says, okay, well, he feels like this is his last hit record, And I think that's important because he doesn't take his music for granted. He doesn't take his hits for granted, And I find that very inspiring and just very humble. Dr. Luke has over 20 number one hits. He has countless top 40 singles. He has numerous number one albums. He has 2 Grammy nominations. He has also been awarded the Best Producer of the Year award by ASCAP, as well as Best Songwriter of the Year twice by ASCAP, which goes to show that he's not just a great producer, but he's also a great songwriter. It shows how versatile he really is. Dr. Luke makes 6 figures per track, which is pretty amazing, but given his track record and given his accomplishments, I think that his numbers very well speak for themselves. In conclusion, Dr. Luke has had his humble beginnings as a guitarist. He has worked with great records with superstars such as Britney Spears, Katy Perry, and Kesha, to name a few. He has also worked with producers such as Max Martin and Benny Blanco, and his awards, his number one hits, and all of his accomplishments show that he is a great and commercially successful producer.